What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? It's Big Game James here. I'm back, and I'm doing a double header. Had my guy on earlier, Nick Herrera. We talked some Cowboys football, got some delved into good things, but you know what it is. Thursday, it's burgers and blitzes with my dog Mike White. What's up with you, man?
Going on, love. Just send that link out right quick. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
You know
sir.
what it
Yes,
is.
sir.
Well, like I said, we're back at this again. Let me see. Let me jump in here real quick. 1 second. Do a couple things real quick.
Oh, we're good. Watching Jay Glazer's ball headed ass.
he's so damn short. It's crazy.
I didn't know that. I met him one time. I was like, oh, because I'm 6'4", and I was like, who is that? It's like, oh, but damn, you were small,
That's
small.
exactly. That's the way I felt when I met Dave Hellman for the first time. I met him at the combine, and he was like, "It's okay." I was like, "I ain't trying to kill you or nothing like that." I was
that
like,
that
"But I
dude
was
talks like
looking
he's 7'10".
right." You talk real big. When I seen, it, I was like, "Come on, man! Come on, man!"
Oh, he'll still throw. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah. He don't give a hell. He don't give a hell. Shout out to you, Shane Scott. And people are jumping up in the building right now. Shout out to all my Facebook people. Shout out to my YouTubers that are coming in. You know what it is. Like I said, we're going to be short and sweet. So we're going to jump right into this and talk about what we got going on right now. First, since we really didn't get to talk, it won't be nothing long. But let's talk about what are some positives from you taking from that Philadelphia game. Weren't many, but there were some positives coming out of that game. What were some of your positives coming out of that game they can look forward to before we talk about this matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I think Tank's knee's finally right. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
he's been right all year. I think he tweaked it standing up in the Atlanta game, and he's been trying to get right ever since. Trevon Diggs got picked on earlier, but then we all saw what he did, and then that dude. Did you see when Donovan Wilson picked him? They ran a deep post, and he's trying to carry Fogan across the side, and Wilson just picks him, and then like he gets dinged for 55-yard bomb.
Mm-hmm.
But he played well. I thought your center was okay. He had a bad rep there at the end that cost you a bad strip sack fumble. But he's getting better. Steals trash. I thought the offense. I like what Kellen's doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're people still complaining about this guy. Like, what do you want him to do? He don't have a quarterback. He's missing 5 offensive linemen. And we're trying out different stuff. And people got mad at him on that flea flicker that stalled the drive. Cedric Wilson had Cooper open down the
He
sideline. He
did.
just didn't let it
He
go.
did.
He didn't let it go. That play worked. There was a bunch of plays that worked. There was a on the bad strip sack that Danucci took in the red zone, or one of them, should I say? The play opens up. If he lets it go immediately, Cooper runs a short hitch, and he's open on the left side of the end zone, and then that clears out the deeper part of the end zone right there, and Dalton Schultz is wide open too. He looks him right in the eye and then just tucks the ball and then that's a negative play. I thought the play calling was okay. Your defense finally got something going. There's a lot of silver linings there. Your special teams. I mean, outside of the punter, your special teams didn't necessarily hurt you like it's done in every single
Mm-hmm.
game. So there's some silver linings there.
Yeah, I will agree with all those. I was still frustrated with that play that Kellen did. The only reason why
Mhm.
I don't mind the play, but I just don't like it where it was called at the 2nd and 8 because I just felt like this is a situation where I still don't trust this offensive line. I like the creativity, but right now it's 2nd and 8. We just had a big turnover. We're driving all the way down the field right now in that part of the game. In my opinion, it wasn't the good call to go with. Now, to your point, Cedric Wilson on that reverse part, Mark Cooper did break out and he was open, but I just felt like that wasn't the time and place to do it. It was 2nd 8. You still had 2 downs.
I
Ezekiel was
I
running.
get you. I get you. If the play works, nobody's even talking
True
about it.
story.
They're giving him
True
praise.
story.
That's the problem with the trick play. It's a trick if it doesn't work. What's that slogan? It's only crazy if it doesn't
Right,
work.
right.
So I didn't necessarily like it. I'm not saying I necessarily agreed with it, but it worked, and that's the thing. They just didn't execute.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, like I said, hey, it's water over the bridge now. But Like
for
you said,
sure.
if we're going on some positives, I definitely do agree with a lot of what you were saying. D-Law does definitely look better, especially from that Cleveland game where he was laboring. He looks like he was getting off the ball very quickly. Was excited to see that. Now, my opinion still with D-Law is that's great that he's got the 3 sacks and he's looking healthy and he's looking better. But my thing is, I want you to get against these guys that are, good tackles and not just these bums. I'm not gonna call
For
them
sure.
bums, but I just need to see that energy against all these other guys as well. Because you went up against a rookie tackle and Lane Johnson wasn't in. You went up against a backup tackle in Washington. You went against Cam Fleming in the New York Giants. None of those guys or any of them are good tackles. Now, I still like the sacks, but I just want to see that production when we're going against some tough teams because that's what you are paid to be, that guy to do. So I do like how he's getting healthier. I know Randy Gregory didn't get any sacks, but I like his activity. He got
Yeah,
31 more play snaps. He had 6 the first time, 31 this time, so he's getting his feet under him. I think he'll be even
he
more
got a
productive.
sack. He got a sack. He got taken back by a
Right,
bullshit
right,
penalty
right.
that roughing the passer. He got pushed in. He got pushed down. He was trying everything he had in his body to stay above the waist, and he got pushed down by the tackle. But we made up for it the next play. We got that pick. So, and that wasn't the pick. The next play was where Carson Wentz held on the ball for 7.5 seconds, let Donovan Wilson eat his lunch.
I know, right? What's up, Matthew Nash? Now, we had a quick question. I can't see the name on here. I'm just going to ask the question. I'm sorry if I don't have the name, but you asked it through Facebook. He asked the question, what's your thoughts on Justin Fields?
You could talk about, it would cause chaos. I would love for them to talk about drafting him. Talk about it. Talk that. Oh, we like Justin Fields. We like the way he spins the ball. We like this. We like that. Let one of these teams, with the 9th and 10th pick that messed around and won too many games, come get that quarterback. We'll run those pockets and then we'll fix this defense real quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's I'm not. Since that conversation, I can spin it into the we got to think about drafting a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Which if this team was ran correctly, I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I really wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
But there's several factors that go into that. For one, Dak Prescott is this team.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that. We have evidence of that, period.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even disputable fact. I mean, that's factual information. And this front office, I have no confidence in them whatsoever moving on from Dak Prescott and them handling it in any sort of way that doesn't come back with like a comp pick or a running back.
Right.
These guys there's cornerbacks out here that are getting 2 firsts and a second. Somehow we would trade Dak Prescott away, get a 3rd round pick and a future forward, and then end up with a quarterback that may or may not bust. But then we got the savings. Well, we've seen this movie twice already.
Mm-hmm.
They did it with Tony Romo, and they did it with Dak Prescott. They had 4 years of cheap quarterback play and did absolutely nothing with it. I don't know what this pipe dream people have of Stephen Jones all of a sudden getting aggressive in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
That's not who they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the air they breathe. They're not the Ravens. They're not the Steelers. They're not the Niners. They're not the Rams. They're not going to try to fix the team in the first wave of free agency with these cheap players on rookie deals. I know the Rams went a little too far over their skis and they thought their quarterback was something, but that's another conversation. The way they went about it was smart. They got proven players with the picks that they could not get because they knew they were going to be picking in the 20s, maybe possibly even the 30s because they made the Super Bowl that one time. And you're not going to get that, Cal. You're not getting like the Steelers. That trade worked out perfectly. They picked up Minkah Fitzpatrick. You're not getting Minkah Fitzpatrick with the 27th pick.
Right.
It's not happening. I know they end up picking, I think it was like 18th or something because they just missed the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You're not getting that caliber of player. Stephen Jones isn't going to do that.
Right.
They're not doing that. So this dream of cheap quarterback play and the team you could put around him and these receivers, it doesn't exist. It's not the reality.
Yeah, I totally agree. And here's the thing: the reality of it, as you said, is you see how he is about a quarterback. Oh, we got to make sure we spread it around for everybody. So what's the thing? Just like you said, you had 4 years, almost 5 years of cheap labor and nothing happened. What do we think that if you drafted Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence, like anything is going to change? What makes us think that they're going to make the right business decisions or the right football decisions, even if you have a rookie quarterback? And do we really trust starting over with this organization with a rookie quarterback at the helm? I don't. I don't at all.
Why you want to get worse at your best position?
Right.
That's the strongest position you have on the team outside of maybe Zach Martin. and you want to get worse at that position?
Right.
I don't. And then you have the issue with these people who think, oh, okay, so Dak's not a. There's people. There's a large portion of people who think Dak Prescott isn't a top 2 to 3 quarterback, and they think that Lawrence or Fields may be. Well, 4 years from now, when Lawrence or Fields is a top 7, top 5 quarterback instead of a top 2, top 3 quarterback, they're going to be wanting to run him out of town too. This is factual information. We're going to go right through this thing again, and we're going to, well, maybe we should tank. Maybe we should try to trade up. Lawrence can't get it done. Fields can't get it done. Think about the savings we could have instead of paying him, and we're right back in this same boat.
I totally agree, and that's what I don't want, because it's going to just be the same thing, and people are deceived. See, here's my thing. People, in my opinion, are just like, okay, well, let's just go do this pick, and we can trade out of this and gather these picks. I don't trust this organization to make the right call on the picks. I don't trust this organization to do the right things with that. So in my head, is keep something that you have. You know what I mean? You know have a franchise quarterback. That's been proven this year. If you had any doubts about it, the Joneses, you saw it this year what a franchise quarterback is for your organization. That's Dak Prescott. You have something that's a guaranteed, and you can build around this. You can sign him and still gather picks, just like you said. You can trade and get picks during this draft. You can will and deal and make this happen, but you have to be aggressive. That's the thing, Steven. You have to be aggressive in this, not say, oh, well, we're okay. We don't need to get that safety. We like Donovan Wilson. He did pretty good. Then no, don't deceive yourself. Donovan Wilson is playing okay, but he's not the guy. Okay, so don't deceive yourself and start pumping up 6th round picks and 7th round picks and 5th round picks like they're the guys.
Exactly. Xavier Woods has been, I know people hate him or whatever. He has been, for his draft position, Xavier Woods has been fantastic. 97% of the people that are picked in his round aren't even in the NFL right now. They're playing in the AAF or the XFL, or they're a PE coach in Rhode Island. And that's the quality of play they've been putting at safety, and people wonder why the back end of the defense sucks. You get what you put into it.
And you get what you pay for.
Look, we've talked about this before. Look at all your playoff teams. Look at every playoff team literally this century. Strong safety play, strong defensive tackles, a quarterback that can make the throw when you need it to do, which is Dak Prescott, and a couple of good wide receivers that can run consistent routes. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, like I said, man, I like you said, outside of a Zach Martin, you don't know what's happening with La'el Collins. There ain't no guarantee. There ain't no guarantee with Tyron Smith. They're
terrified about
both of them, because you're dealing with the hip and you're dealing with the neck. Both of those parts are not something that you feel good about going down the line as far as being repairable or is going to come back and start working. So you don't feel good about either one of those parts. So you got to see what you got. And one other thing, I need to see what's up, Gambino. I need to see what's going on with Connor McGovern, man. I'm really frustrated that he got taken out of the lineup. I get where you have Zach Martin not playing and want to play right tackle. He's a right guard. Okay, I get it. But why can't we figure out see that Connor Williams, he played tackle at Texas? Why can't you see that? Why you need to see what you have in Connor McGovern, and you can't tell me he didn't play serviceably well in those 2 games, especially that last Washington game. He showed the power to me that Connor Williams did not show in that middle. He wasn't getting pushed around like Connor Williams does at the guard position. So I don't understand why he goes and sits back out when you need to evaluate him, when you're looking at this guy possibly being your future, and this is only his 2nd year.
There's a lot that goes into that, and I talk about this. I've been talking about this when people want to move. They want to move Martin out to tackle. I think it could be, it's the way NFL coaches and especially quarterbacks look at the interior of the offensive line. They love continuity there because that's the least place they want pressure. And for whatever reason, the team feels better with Connor Williams, and I know why they feel better with Zach Martin right next to your rookie center. They want your future center to get reps with your all-pro guard he's going to be playing with next year, and they're hoping that they can find a swing tackle in Terrence Steele. And apparently they're willing to sacrifice a couple of bad quarterbacks to see if that decision works out.
I mean, I don't know who the hell is his sponsor, but damn, I mean,
they maxed him out. They maxed out his UDFA deal. Somebody in their building likes him, and you know how Steven is when he pays somebody, they're going to see the field. Otherwise, Ezekiel Elliott would have been benched 3 weeks ago.
Right. You know what
So
frustrates me is how we lost that one kid to Indianapolis. Now that we
mhm.
know we don't have anybody that's working along the line, he got frustrated and said, "I want to play." He goes over to Indianapolis, who has Matt Eberflus, so that was probably the connection. He said he wanted to get on the field.
Abrams is a good
Yeah,
coach.
he is.
He's
I
a,
mean, that was the
he's a good
guy I
coach.
wanted to be our defensive coordinator for real, for real. So I was frustrated about that. But just talking about that, just tells you right there. They signed him to big money over there, and he said, "I want to play." And
Yeah,
he sat the bench, and you see what our defensive tackles are looking like right now. That's a guy that you lost that really could have been something that could have been for your future. It is what it is. So going forward, okay, Mike,
yeah.
we're talking about this Pittsburgh game.
Hmm.
Who do you think should get the start going forward with Pittsburgh? Cooper Rush or Garrett Gilbert?
I I mean, both of them are bad. I think honestly, I think both of them are going to play this
You
game.
think so?
One of those dudes is getting killed by halftime. Are you serious?
I know.
You,
I just
you
rather.
know who
Me
you're
personally, I've seen. I'm a Texas fan, so I seen Gilbert. I'm good on him. I'd rather go with Cooper Rush, and Cooper Rush ain't.
playing? I am too. Honestly, you know what? I am actually looking forward to Cooper Rush starting because I've been hearing about Cooper Rush. That Cooper Rush could run this offense. Cooper Rush could throw to these wide receivers. Shut the hell up, Kevin. Dak is an awesome quarterback. If you don't like that, go root for another.
Right, exactly.
But Cooper Rush is the savior. He could complete the passes, and because he had a couple of good preseason games. Go on ahead, Cooper. Let's go get it. T.J. Watt and them's over there waiting for you, buddy. Terrence
Oh
Steele
gosh,
starting.
yeah.
You better put some roller skates on.
Dog, I feel bad for him, but I'd rather go with Cooper Rush just because he has more familiarity with the team. He has more familiarity with the guys, so I guess that's on my only saving grace with Cooper Rush. I ain't excited about him being starting, but I would say that's the best feeling I have with a quarterback going forward. Now, Tony Pollard had a decent game, 7 carries, 40 yards. We saw some little bit of explosiveness in there.
He's the better running back on the team right now. And I'm not saying, I'm the running backs don't matter guy and this, that, and the other. Fact of the matter is Ezekiel Elliott has hurt your team 3 out of 4 times he touches the ball. And Tony Pollard's legs don't stop driving in the hole. He doesn't get picked off by a shoestring. I think he's your better running back right now. And I think if you're going to run that Wildcat, run it with Pollard.
That frustrates. But see, Mike, that's what it goes down to, that money. You feel me? That's what it is, dog. Because
we got that 21 out there. We paid him that money, and Ezekiel. Ezekiel was we got them rings in the 90s with that running back, and strong run game. It's the Jones boys,
right? And that's the thing that's killing me right now is because when they went in that Wildcat, my first thought is, why is the hell Ezekiel Elliott in the Wildcat? He is not scaring anybody. He's not doing any damn thing.
All the things people wanted to complain about Kelly and to say that they didn't like his decisions. Nobody called out the Zeke Wildcat snaps. Nope. Nobody had a problem with that. I did. I thought it was stupid as hell.
It was. It didn't make no damn sense when you got somebody who is more explosive, especially if you're running a Wildcat, more quicker feet, and once he can hit the hole, he can make a person miss. And if he gets out to the outside, he can actually break it. Where Ezekiel Elliott's going to get caught. So you don't have somebody run the Wildcat. You have somebody who's going to run the Wildcat that is explosive, that's going to break the line of scrimmage and can take it to a long game.
Yeah. Run it with Young Lamb. Why don't you try that?
Right.
He's your best. He's your best athlete on offense, is he? Outside of Zach Martin, but Zach Martin ain't running Wildcat. He can't block and run Wildcat. So, I don't know why they don't try it with him. Maybe they will this game because they're going to have to try something because I got a feeling they're going to end up on 2 or 3 quarterbacks by the time of this game. So.
I know one thing. They're going to be sending the house. Pittsburgh they're talking about stopping Ezekiel Elliott. They're going to do more. They're trying to do more than that. They're trying to I don't know how we're even going to score. That's going to be crazy. How we're going to score is going to have to probably be a trick play or a luck play, or really it's going to have to be a game where Big Ben is turning over the ball like Carson Wentz. Remember,
fumble return. You're not scoring on offense. You may get a field goal.
I mean, that's the best way it can happen. I mean, before this game against Philly, I said Carson Wentz was going to keep us in the game. He did with 4 turnovers, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles. But it's going to Big Ben. I mean, he will turn it over. Hopefully, he just gets lackadaisical and thinks that the Cowboys suck, and then they just, kind of let their guard down. I think that's the best chance for us, Mike. In my opinion, if they let their guard down and kind of underestimate us, and then we can kind of do some tricky stuff in there. But I ain't feeling great about it. But going forward, what are we looking like on our defense? Because, like I said, we got some positives at it. I don't think the Pittsburgh offense is great. I mean, they got Chase Claypool, they got Juju. Connor is okay, but they don't have any offense that's like dynamic. Where do you think we could really attack their offense, and where can we kind of feel like we can kind of put them in down and distance and put them in bad situations? Where can we really attack them?
Blitz Jordan Lewis. Run Jordan Lewis out there as a safety. And in your third and long situations, run a 3 safety setup. If hopefully they get Cheeto back. You put Cheeto, Lewis, Diggs, and Wilson out on the field and Woods out on the field. And then you run them like that, and you run one of them off the edge and hope you catch Ben Big slipping. Because Big Ben don't have that, for years and years and years, he's had that, that like you're wrestling your dad, just shake you off type thing. He don't have that no more. You hit that dude, he goes down. He goes down. So he's because he's so banged up. He's 90% bone spurs at this point because he's had so many injuries. I think you can get to him. I think that this is the game where you try to figure out if you can run Jalen as a Sam. I think you get if you want to run 2 linebackers back there. Sean Lee and the LVE, because they're gonna take the top right off of Claypool, and they're gonna run Ebron right at 54, and then he's gonna cut right to the left, and Jalen's gonna fall down, and he's gonna catch it, and he's gonna take it to the house, and that's what I'm terrified about. I'm terrified about them because Pittsburgh. I know you watch the 22. Pittsburgh loves dragging across the middle of the field.
Hell yeah, we struggle with our players with that drag. You feel me?
Yes. They're like the Rams without the pre-snap motion. The way that offense runs, it's drags and counters. It's all kinds of middle of the field trash where they just run their guys through there. You got dudes running into each other, and Big Ben's throwing to somebody who's open by 27 yards. And so, I was supposed to be positive there. Shit. You were positive.
So is it a situation where you would have, like, if they go into like I said, hey, we're going into the nickel, where, let's say, running a 4-2-5, you would have a Sean Lee and an LVE out there. Yeah. If you have those as the 2 backers and have Jalen come out on the passing downs, that would make the most sense.
Yes. I think you need to limit his. I mean, this is true in any game, but especially at this game, you need to limit his cover. Anytime he can be in coverage, try to avoid that situation because Eric Ebron will eat him up. And especially if they figure out a way to get Juju or Claypool on him, good God, right? We don't want that. We don't.
And I mean, teams. That's the problem, Mike. You paid this guy, so it's like you said. You paid Ezekiel Elliott, you paid these guys, so these guys in your minds have to be on the field because you paid them this money. But the problem is becoming the detriment to the team because you felt like you're paying him this money, so he has to play. But these other offensive coordinators are looking at and licking their chops, saying, "Okay, we already see one mismatch that we're going to use. Get him on an island, get him by himself, and we're going to go ahead and exploit this." That's the problem. And I don't know if the coach is able to do anything because we keep on hearing these same things coming down from the top, and it's just frustrating as far as that's going on. Now, this game is in Dallas, so maybe that helps as well. I doubt it, but maybe it does help as well.
It's gonna be Steelers. It's gonna be
Steeler country.
They
travel like
yellow towels, and they already have a strong following in Dallas as this.
Yeah, true
Dallas
story.
Is a huge Pittsburgh town for some god awful reason, but those ugly ass terrible towels waving them down. You know what? Maybe they won't let them bring them in because of Rona. They can't wave Rona all over the damn place. They can't affect the damn stadium with that sickness.
Man, I mean, that's really the only hope we have. Now, I will say that. Do you think DeMarcus Lawrence has a good game? Because the offensive line is not great. They have their right tackle Chukwuma Okofora, he's
That's
only
all
giving
you.
up. I tried, but he's not great by any means. This is a game where DeMarcus Lawrence, maybe a Alden Smith, maybe a Randy Gregory, I think they can put some pressure on that front and cause problems for that offensive line, in my opinion. I know you said Blitz Jordan. I saw a lot more blitzing. I don't know if it was me. In that Philadelphia game, they were a lot more aggressive, especially with I had said to some of my peoples they need to blitz LVE more. He only had one sack coming in after 2 seasons. He finally got him a blitz and he got a sack on Carson Wentz. I like that delayed blitz. Do you think that the Cowboys should be aggressive with that blitz, or kind of let's not give it up on the back end? Where do you think we should go with that?
I mean, if they're gonna get clapped on the back end as it is. You can't, we talked about this a month ago in the Atlanta game. You can't stop anybody as it is. You might as well send a dog or two. If you're going to get burnt, get a chance, because Big Ben does the same thing Carson Wentz does with that ball. He'll flag it out there, man. He'll be doing this willy-nilly stuff with it. You come off that backside blitz, and that's a wrap. Snag that thing and take it to the house, because your offense ain't scoring, man. It's not. It's going to be ugly on the offensive side of the ball. But I want to see some positive in this defense. Get an eye on the field. Why is he still at a 0% snap count? Right. You cut Griffin, and you still get. You even talked about an eye, and you still didn't get him on the field.
Right.
And I want to see Gallimore. What you got? If are they going to ask him to one tech? Because if they're going to ask him to one tech, he can't do that. He couldn't do it in college. But I think he can be a serviceable, rotationable player at 3T. And I want to see if he's got something. LVE looked better versus Filthy. He looks like he's getting his legs up under him. Let's see what we got there. These are preseason games. You get 8 games versus other teams where they're going to play their starters, and you get to see what you got on defense going forward. Because obviously this team's dead in the water, but there's stuff you want to see. What else can Kellen do? What can he make work? What's your offensive line looking at? Can Steele, maybe kind of put something together by the end of the year? I doubt it, but he was a UDFA rookie for a reason. If he was Becton, he would have went in the first round, but he's not. That's what you got there. See what you got in these players. Get the young guys out there, and see Wilson finally got on the field. I don't know what took so long there. We've been crying about that for a year.
That's where I'm frustrated, Mike, because I was talking to Nick earlier about this, where I said we need to have a Joe Philbin talk or Mike McCarthy, because here's the thing. You started out with Joe Looney at the center position. I understand he's a veteran. Tyler Biadasz was a rookie. I understand you had COVID, things of that nature, but Joe Looney is a career backup. So if Tyler Biadasz didn't get hurt, you were going to roll with Joe Looney the whole year. That's a mistake, in my opinion. You get what I'm saying? Because you drafted a Biadasz. Huh?
That was Dak.
What was that?
Dak. Dak likes Looney. They went to the playoffs together.
I don't care. I don't care if Dak likes him.
I get that. I get that with no off season, with no preseason, with like you said, with the COVID and everything like that. And then nobody expected. I mean, you can't sit there and expect Looney to be that damn bad. Looney we've never seen Looney this bad. He is a career backup, but he put some of the worst tape I've ever seen offensive lineman put on film in Dallas this year. It was bad. So, they like that, especially your quarterback. They like the inside of that line to be the safe space, so to speak. And that's why they're still trotting out Terrence Steele at right tackle instead of moving Martin out. And, Martin, they could have asked Martin to be like, hey, we're going to play you at right tackle. Be like, no, you're not. I'm like, okay, good talk. So that's, it really could have went like that. Because
that's what I think it did go like.
Zach Martin's got that kind of clout. If you don't want to play right tackle, he's not going to play right tackle, period.
And that's what it was, Mike. And I said that the last 2 weeks that he went in there, and when he came out loud and on an interview and said, I am a right guard, that to me told me everything, that he's not playing right tackle anymore. And he definitely said it right before he came back. He definitely said it. So that lets me know, I got clout in this Cowboys. I'm an all-pro. I'm Zach Martin. What are you going to tell me?
You ain't fucking with my position. Yeah. I'm a guard. I don't play right tackle. Even though he went to right tackle for, what was it, three quarters, 2.5 quarters, and played at an all-pro level because he's that good of a player.
and that's what it was. So that's why I just questioned the line. I Philbin, because certain people that we've seen him, like we said, McGovern, he was the left guard, but you kept Connor Williams, who hasn't played bad, but when Connor McGovern came in, he played well.
Yes.
Okay, so it's just.
I would like to see McGovern. Anything you want to throw out there, man. That's like I'm saying. It's preseason. Let's see what This is what you want to see your team moving forward into 2021. Who stays? Who goes?
Mm-hmm.
You want to play? Does Alden Smith want to play? Is your knee better? Do you want to stick around? Gregory, what do you got? Gregory's third game now. He got limited reps. Let's see those legs get underneath you. Let's see some of that pass, which we did see. That's just, and then. He had a couple of good reps. He's looking good with that new power, but rust is rust. He hadn't played so long. And then I don't know what Jalen. That's a lost cause. That's a post June 1 cut, and we're gonna use that money to sign Cheeto. That's another conversation. And then what do we have in Wilson? And then hopefully Woods plays well enough that we can get a comp pick for him, because they're not going to re-sign him.
Yeah, he's not getting re-signed.
And that's at the end of the day, everybody's got to fit under the cap. So
yeah, I definitely want to bring Cheeto back. I think Cheeto can come back for a cost-effective deal, and I think he's a good player going forward. But you still draft a top corner, even if you sign him. You still draft a top corner if you can. Oh, yeah. But here's my thing: do you really think Alden Smith is going to come back? They turned down trade offers for him. Do you really think? Because I had some inside word that he's lukewarm, even though he's saying it in the media, he's lukewarm about coming back to the Cowboys, because if he jumps out there and say, "Oh, I want to come back to Cowboys," Stephen Jones is going to instantly lowball him, and I still don't think Stephen Jones is going to give him a nice kind of contract after he's coming off this time. So I really doubt that he's really going to be coming back in the fold as far as a guarantee.
Man, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't have faith with any contract negotiation situation with Stephen Jones running this team. I would love to see Alden back, and they did turn down trade offers, which is really, really stupid if you're not going to make a significant push to sign him. And there's not going to be a lot of teams out there that can money whip you, because the cap is going down, and there's a lot of teams. I know the cap is fungible, and it's kind of a social construct for owners and GMs to keep the fan base with their head underwater, pretending like we couldn't do something that we could have easily done, like sign Dak 3 years ago. But yeah, what are you gonna? I mean, they gave him a shot. They're the ones that got him back in the league. They have Tom Sula here, and I think that's more than a serviceable player. And contract stuff. I do players. I don't do contracts. That contract stuff is witchcraft for me, and I get my head lopped off every time I go in those waters. But I think you could get him on like a 2-year, $10 million incentive-based deal, in which that's good money for him. That's way more. He was living in a car last year. As long as somebody doesn't come in and money whip you, which I don't know who's out there that would. But with Stephen Jones, that's. You never know. We could be looking at a comp pick in 2022 for him.
I mean, that's what I believe. I don't have the full faith that the Cowboys are going to sign him, because I feel like they will lowball him. I think the most that you can get out is a 3-year deal. But I mean, if he's somebody throws a little bit of change at him, Cowboys ain't going to jump out there and match that. So that's just the reason why they don't match those offers. So
they literally never matched an offer since Stephen Jones been running the contracts.
And
they lost Amari. Amari just didn't want to go to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Amari was gone. If that was a better team, Amari was gone like the wind. But no other better team offered him more money because they know who he is. But that's another, he didn't want to go to Washington. So I just don't have any faith whatsoever. And that's why, like, if Dak Prescott hits free agency, he's gone like the wind.
I mean, would you stay?
No. Hell no.
No,
not even a little bit. I don't know why I stay.
Right.
You
feel me? That's what I say. If they ain't paying me nothing, I still stay and be beating myself up every day. Like, I wish I could dislike somebody.
I don't know what else to do, man. I live in Dallas, and I ain't gonna support. I ain't gonna support my team. I don't know. It's difficult. It's difficult, and I really dislike Stephen Jones. I don't like him as a human, and I definitely don't like him running my team, because he screwed up so many things. When you paid your running back and your linebacker early, and your cornerback 1, your wide receiver 1, and your QB 1 all hit free agency. You know, Dak didn't sign that tag. He could have push came to shove. He could have not signed that tag and did a crazy ass deal would force his way out. But they were all literally free agents. And I don't know how you think that's even remotely smart business.
Dog, I don't. And you know what's so sad about this? Before we head up out of here, you know what's so sad about this, Mike, is that I was like hoping when I saw a little bit of the moves years ago, I was like, okay, maybe there's going to be a change at the helm when Jerry moves on. Maybe because I said, you know, we ain't going to win another Super Bowl under Jerry, but we may have a chance under Steven. But now, after 3 years later, after me seeing all this, my tune has totally changed. I'm almost like, damn, I low-key like Jerry more than Steven, and Jerry gets on my nerves. At least Jerry cares more. Steven tries to squeeze every little bit of life out of you and not get no kind of money. It don't seem like he have any kind of love for the players, but that's okay. I don't want you to fall in love with players. I'm cool with that.
That's the one good thing he does, but he falls in love with the wrong players.
Exactly. Like,
you go fall in love with Jalen Smith and Zeke, and then what the hell have they done for you besides hurt the team?
Right.
Man, you know, and I wish I had an egg I could crack on my head right now, because I thought the light at the end of the tunnel was Steven.
So did I.
You know, but we didn't know. You know, he wasn't out here talking. Mm-hmm. He wasn't. We just barely started talking in the meeting about the final Romo contract. And when he took over the final contract dealings, when he was dealing with Dak, he's over there with $25 million of dead Romo money on his cap, and that's the contracts he inherited. Mm-hmm. And I think that has a lot to do with it.
Well, you know what I think also? I think he's an egotistical man, just like his daddy, because I think he's still living off of, oh, I told my daddy not to draft Johnny Manziel. I told my daddy not to draft Paxton Lynch. I helped do with the Amari Cooper trade. I feel like he's living off that. And as I said before, you were just born into this. You didn't put in.
He was base after somebody else pinch hit and acted.
That's all it is. You was born into this. You we didn't see any work that you put in to let us know that you're a football guy. You went on scouting trails. You went on trips. No, you were just born into this. That's all you were. You were never a football guy. And that's, like I said, I hate to keep beating the dead horse, but a man who's over director of player personnel who ain't no football dude, that's going to continually hurt the team. And you see it is. And as I said before, what GM have you seen have a job for 25 years and have 14 missed playoff appearances, only 4 wins? Those GMs are fired. Those GMs do not last that long. Jerry will never fire himself. His ego will never allow it. And his ego, even this past week when he said, I run this, the buck stops with me. Have you noticed, Mike, in a lot of his interviews, he always has to reiterate that I run this? That is the problem. We know you run it, Jerry. We all know you run the Cowboys. But the problem is you ain't running it right as far as the players go.
We were hoping the idea here is that if you have a good enough quarterback, have a smart enough head coach, and the moon and stars align just right, and it's the summer solstice, and it's, you know, you have a team that's good enough to maybe make the NFC Championship game. But you know that this front office has never. I mean, dude, I'm 35, and since the salary, I barely remember the glory years of the early 90s. Mm-hmm. When has this team out in the salary cap era ever whatsoever given you the best chance to win? Besides, in 2018 they had it. That was a damn good roster, but you know what? They saddled us back with Jason Garrett. And what happened there? In 2016, they had it, and then they saddled us back with Jason Garrett because their ego. They didn't want to. Steven didn't want to fire his friend, and Jerry didn't want to fire his son-in-law.
And we all knew that was fool's gold after they had that season. It was like, don't.
They playoff game 1, and they were going to the damn NFC Championship game, and Garrett got scared, dirted the damn ball, and gave the ball back to Aaron Rodgers. He should have been fired before he even got off the damn field.
It's like I said, and it's all. The only way that the Cowboys are ever going to get something like that, the players and the coaches are going to have to overcome the management. So that means we're going to have top-notch players all the way through. That means we have to hit on every draft. That means we have to hit on every free agency. That is the only way, dog. Like, let's keep it real.
MVP season that's never been seen before.
Like, let's keep it real. That's the only way it's really going to happen. That we have to overcome it.
500 yards, and oh man! All right, we got to end on a positive note. Trevon Diggs can be a star.
Trevon Diggs is going to be a star. Hopefully, we can get another corner. I hope Cheeto steps up with him because I like Cheeto. I think they can be a decent combination the rest of the year.
Corner. He got picked on. He was on the unfortunate end of some damn good passes last year, and he had to go check the numbers. Cheeto had a better year than Jalen Ramsey.
Yes,
he did. Factual information. He had a better year than Jalen Ramsey.
Yes,
and he was on the unfortunate on a bad defense with below replacement level safety help. And you got let's see what Randy Gregory's got. You got him cheap. That's some cheap ass edge pressure. You can post June 1 Jalen and hopefully re-sign Cheeto. You got LVE. Looks like he's getting his legs back under him. If he gets his legs back under him and they can cut Jalen, they can they can move him back to Will where he belongs and get an actual Mike linebacker in here in maybe round 3. Please don't take one of the top 50 or I'll go lay down in the woods and die.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a lot you could build off of heading on to 2020. And there's a lot. Sorry, 2021. We're already into that. I figured, we don't know that 2020 could be 2 years long. We don't know. It's got all kinds of surprises.
Right, we could be next year, 2020. It's all over again.
2020 2.0 coming at your ass.
Yeah, but in closing, I agree. They got some small parts. I really just feel like they need to bring a defensive guy in the fold, a real true defensive guy, because you had an offensive guy and a head coach in Jason Garrett, an offensive guy and Mike McCarthy, who I like. He's still an offensive guy. We need to get somebody who has a strong defensive mind, and then you really let him cook and do his thing. Till that happens, I think we're just going to keep going in circles, big guy.
Yeah, I wish I had a name for you, but I don't yet. I will. Give me time. I'll get some names.
Yeah, get some names and post it on Twitter.
Mike Nolan ain't coming back.
Nah. Post them names on Twitter so I can retweet that shit.
All right, we out.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Burgers and Blitzes, Big Game James, Mike White. Go back and replay it if you missed it. We're doing this again next week, and hopefully we can get this win on Sunday.
Thank y'all for checking in. Love y'all.
Hey, good day. Peace. Good day, my friend.
Later, Bubba.
Thank you. All right, so that's my guy, Mike White, Burgers and Blitzes. I did a show earlier today with my guy, Nick Herrera. Make sure you check him out. He's a guy that I met on Twitter, Cowboys guy, real good. I think he's has some real good potential as far as getting out there and making his own podcast. His name is Nick Herrera, HERRERA. Go follow him on Twitter. I think he's a good follow. He has a lot of good information. We had a great show today. Go rewind that show back and check that out because he's got a lot of good information, and he's one of those analytical type guys, and I like what he brings to the table. So I told him that he could probably get some stuff popping. So keep him a lookout. I'm going to have him on the show again. This was his first time ever doing a podcast, so I'm gonna have him on the show again. He was cool, and I really did like it. But as I said before, Saturday, Friday, tomorrow, we'll see what we got going on Saturday. I believe I got to get the time correct. I got my guy Rudy Reyes. He has the Rude Dog Show. He is a big time Pittsburgh Steelers guy as well. We're looking to do a show Saturday morning. We were doing a show about a few months ago, but my stream was acting weird. I really didn't want to do it. But I think we're going to be getting that in Saturday morning. His name is Rudy Reyes of the Rude Dog Show. He's got a lot of good guests, a lot of top football players, NFL personnel, everything, and great guy. So we'll talk about the Pittsburgh Cowboys matchup because he's a Pittsburgh guy, and we'll be able to see what's going on with that. And that's going to go down Saturday. I don't really know what's going to go on tomorrow, not yet. We'll see. But we'll see what happens with this game Sunday. As I said before, if you really just been following the stream, I guess I don't really. This is just my personal opinion about the team. Just I don't know the words I have for my Cowboys. It seems like I've almost become numb to this. It's in my body just to love my team. I can't lie and say I wasn't hyped about this team. I'll be the first to tell you. I raised my hand. Me, I'm guilty. I raised my hand. Was hyped about the squad. I was hyped. I thought, the team held together, had decent records with Garrett here. I thought, we had a guy that could take us over the top. I do believe COVID has a small, I'm not giving that as the excuse, but I do believe COVID does have a small thing. Injuries played a huge part of this, especially losing your two starting tackles, one all pro, one a pro bowler should have been, and you lose your franchise quarterback. That's going to happen. It's really hard to bounce back for that and have winning records. We've seen people win with backups, but it's not a high percentage. It can't be. So it was a lot of things that went against the Cowboys this season. But still, at the end of the day, it's almost like Brandon boss, we are going to get it in Saturday. We didn't get it in last week. We were supposed to, but my boo thing, that was her birthday. So we went out, so we weren't able to do it. Me and boss will be back this Saturday for our final thoughts. It's been a couple weeks. He had something going on the week prior, but we will be getting it back in this Saturday because definitely miss going down with boss. So Brandon, boss will be back on this Saturday. What's up, Jim Laws? How you doing, big dog? Yeah, Cowboys fan, 1977. We had no training camp, no OTAs, injuries. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to overcome injuries. I mean, you see even the San Francisco 49ers right now. They're 4-4, but they have a lot of injuries. It's very hard to overcome. You really have to be good from your middle tier of players to really bounce back when you're top tier players. You definitely have to draft good to have those middle type guys. That's where you survive. But even then, it's hard to get into the playoffs and overcome teams who have their guys. It's hard to do. So I'm going to say give maybe a little asterisk by McCarthy on his first year. Because he was dealing with, number one, Jason Garrett players. He's dealing with tons of injuries. Maybe the staff might need to do some changes on the staff, but 1 year wasn't going to do it. But I think at the end of the day, I still am kind of just numb to the feelings that the Cowboys give me because it's kind of like this is year in and year out. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, damn, it's like the same thing, man. It's I don't really have the words for it. It's just, I ain't gonna lie. When I watch Twitter and I watch the Cowboys, DallasCowboys.com, and I listen to them, it's almost like sometimes it's hard for me to get excited about the team when we can let's if we have this record, we can get these many draft picks, or we can pick up these players, or we can do this, or we can do that. But then I think about that when we hear all that, and then right when I get excited, like, yeah, we can do that, then I go back, but we got the Joneses. So it kind of deters my excitement sometimes because it's like, okay, but are we really going to do the right thing? Are the Joneses going to do the right thing? Are they going to keep your quarterback, who is one of your last guaranteed things that you have on the team? Are they going to keep him? Now we have to worry about one. See, those are the frustrating things about me with this organization is that instead of us talking about just getting picks or building the defense, what are we going to talk about this offseason? Oh, we're going to have another distraction once again because we're going to be talking about Dak Prescott. Okay. Cowboys fan, I think they're going to start Cooper Rush. In my opinion, they better start Cooper Rush because I watched Garrett Gilbert at Texas. I'm a University of Texas fan. I watched him. He wasn't great over there. So, no, I don't want to see him starting. I think he will get annihilated. I think Cooper Rush has the best chance because he's familiar with the team, and I don't even think Cooper Rush is going to do anything because he doesn't have any kind of an arm. But I do think that, he has the best chance because he's pretty good on timing base and he's a veteran. He hasn't started any game, but, that's my best thought with that. Yeah, I feel you. It doesn't really matter. I mean, really, it doesn't really matter. But my thing is, I don't trust the Joneses, just like Jim Law. I mean, I haven't trusted the Joneses for a very long time since that happened. And I'm sorry. I like the Cowboys. I don't have to like the Joneses. You get what I'm saying? Like, all through since the Joneses have been there, since they took over the team, I've never been a hater of Jerry Jones. Never been a hater of him. Like, oh, I hate Jerry Jones. I've never been like that. but I ain't never been like, ooh, Jerry Jones, this, Jerry. I've never been like that with him. I was excited that he hired Jimmy Johnson and we won them bowls with Jimmy Johnson. Once that, I'm gonna keep it real. Once that thing happened, I damn near cried when I seen that interview when Jimmy stepped down, and I almost in my heart, maybe I don't think I've ever forgiven Jerry Jones. Maybe not saying Jimmy Johnson was fully blameless in this, but I think I maybe never forgave Jerry Jones for this. And we just, like I said, what GM have you seen in the NFL have a 24 years at the helm, a GM at the helm for 24 years, and have 14 losing seasons and only have 4 playoff wins? Those GMs don't have jobs anymore. Those GMs don't get that long of a leash. Them GMs are getting fired. Them coaches are getting fired because that is not productive. That is not productive at all. And if you were a GM, it's what have you done for me lately? If you're a GM and you came in and you won 3 Super Bowls in 5 years and you're a GM, hell yeah, you'll get a little bit of a leash, but that leash ain't gonna be super long because if you ain't did nothing in 5 to 10 years, ain't nobody gonna be looking at you like, oh, we still want to keep you. No, they're gonna say we need to get rid of you because you won back then. Okay. Nobody cares about what you won 10 years ago. We talking about what you won now. You can't keep living off of what you won that long ago. Nobody cares about that no more. It's about what you winning now. And right now you ain't winning. So you're gonna get fired. But since he controls and owns everything, he ain't never going to fire himself. And I don't believe he's ever going to allow anybody else besides his family to infiltrate because this is the Joneses business. And I feel like that's why we're going to keep going in circles. We may get some good players. I feel like the Dallas Cowboys will always get good players because of the name and the brand. Okay. And Jerry will take care of you. The players said. But just because you win games doesn't mean you're going to win the ultimate prize. Just because you win some games or maybe you win some NFC East titles or you get to the playoffs, is that really good enough? Is that what the Cowboys have to look forward to? Maybe getting in the playoffs one year, maybe not, maybe winning a playoff game, maybe not. I mean, that's not that doesn't make anybody excited for the future. When you look at teams like you said, like when I look at the Ravens or when I look at the Seahawks or even when I look at the Steelers, these teams are year in, year out are competing year in and year out. Just last year, Pittsburgh damn near lost everything. They just barely missed the playoffs and they battled back. Now look at them. They don't have a great team by any means, in my opinion. But what is their record? 7-0. You know what I'm saying? Year in and year out, consistently, they're competing for playoffs and championships. Dallas Cowboys are not. We are, in my opinion, fool's gold. We think we're competing because we're the Cowboys and we have all the hype and we think we're going to do this, but each year we fall right back on our faces, man. And I think that is the problem, and that's the frustration is we get overhyped as fans. We get overhyped. Not all of us. I got overhyped this year. I don't get overhyped every year, but I did overhyped this year because I thought the team was decent and I like Mike McCarthy. But once again, look at us. We're in the same situation. And I just don't know if it's ever going to stop as far as us really being able to go and overcome the ownership to win a championship, especially when the ownership has their hands in every single little thing. And until they let some other people come in and be able to make those moves, it's not going to happen. And Jerry Jones is like this. I can understand where he's coming from. Is like, I bought the team. I'm going to do this. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to, there's people out there, they say, well, if you want something done, do it yourself. I get that. But dog, we seen you doing it yourself and it ain't working. So that's the problem. We seen you do it yourself and it's not working. And that's the issue. And he wants to be able to come out of this so he can say he did this. I mean, he wants to be able to come out of this and say, look, see, I told you, I did this. I told you. He wants to be able to be and say, I told you so. And bro, it ain't happening with Jones. You don't, I just my opinion. You don't go from starting out winning all these championships and then you miss 25 years and all of a sudden you start winning them again. That just don't happen in my opinion, not in the sports world. It just don't happen. And then as I said, I was like, well, I don't think we're going to win under Jerry any longer. So let me see. I think we may have a chance with Steven because he's different than his daddy. But the more I got to see Steven, the more I watched him because as Mike was saying, he wasn't really in the media. He was kind of in the background. Now he's taking more of a forefront approach. I don't like his style. I don't I think his style is worse because um he ain't gonna try to pay you. I like that he don't have the love for the players. That's cool with me. But you play these little dumb games of negotiations in the media still. You try to be so damn smart that you silly at times, and you just not a football dude to me. And you ain't did nothing to really show that you were a football guy. We never seen you put any kind of work to just say you're a football guy, and that bothers me when you're over director of player personnel. When you ain't put in no work, we none of us have seen where you went to some scouting or you went out on the road and was scout. None of us seen that. We just seen that you was born into it. Your daddy, you just got that title because of your dad. We ain't seen you put in the work. And I think that's the fundamental flaw is that people are getting titles and they ain't earned the work. Where you got Will McClay, and he's not perfect in this. Does he make mistakes? Yes. But where's his title? How come he don't got one? But he's putting hell of work on the football side, but he still don't get a title. And then you got a guy named Stephen Jones, just because your daddy is the owner. Now you're the director and over top of the last player movement, and you don't even know what the hell you're doing with football players, like for real. Yeah, so I mean that's just ah damn sure don't want no damn Jet Montana. I know you ain't saying go get some damn Jeff Fisher. Hell no. And just like you said, you paid Zeke, you paid Jalen, you didn't pay um you kept Tyrone Crawford. Whose personnel moves are these? And nobody was dogging, Zeke. He earned, he if you look at the numbers, he earned his money, but it's the point of was it really smart to do that for the team in the long run? But we know businessman, you need sales, and we know sales is a part of this. They can't just sit there and spin this that we just love the Cowboys so much and we're gonna just go all out. I do believe Jerry does love wants to win, but stop spinning this stuff that it's all about the team when you haven't made certain moves to keep certain things together. And now it looks like we're going right back to the start of everything. Because I have no confidence that they're going to bring back Dak Prescott. I don't have the confidence that Dallas doesn't win another game the rest of this season. Um, I don't have the confidence as Dallas is 2-14 that the Cowboys are going to jump up there and sign a Dak Prescott to a long term deal. While Stephen Jones has been crying about he got to spread out the money and be able to build a team around your quarterback. What makes me think that you would sign Dak Prescott now when his price tag went up and you're not good and you need picks and players? I just don't have the confidence that you will do the right thing and still sign your franchise quarterback because he is one of your main building blocks to go forward in the future. Stop talking about this cap and you because we already know you're never going to go out there and sign the big name free agent. We know that's done. So you can stop jumping out there, Stephen Jones, talking about, well, we want to make sure everything's good for the cap. We already know you ain't going to go out there and spend no money on one of the top free. We already understand it. We already know that y'all waiting until the second and third wave of free agents. You done said it time and time again, Stephen Jones. So we don't believe that. But if you're trying to start with a building block, Dak is your building block. He's already proved it. You have somewhere to go. If you get the parts around him that you've already seen that y'all were doing, Dallas was winning. I mean, his first 3 years, Dak Prescott had a winning record. Was it perfect? No. Was Dak perfect? No. But did he get better and better? Hell yes. And this was the year I think we were all talking about. Now, I know it didn't show in the wins except maybe the Falcons, and that was bogus with the onside kick. But we did see that I think this was the year, in my opinion, I wanted to see Dak really carry the team, that be the unquestioned guy. I mean, I felt it last year, but I guess I was wanting to really see it. And Dak just really proved it to me. If he didn't prove it to anybody else, and I'm not anybody to but he just really proved it to me. Like, he's the guy. You know what I mean? He is the guy. And you need to do the right thing, Jerry. You know, you need to do the right thing and take care of. You're always talking about people doing the right things and having the right people and the right players. Well, that's a right type of person in your organization all the way through, from off the field, on the field. He does everything that you need to do as the quarterback. So if you drop the ball and don't pay him, I don't know. I don't know, guys. That's going to be one frustration for me. What's up, David? What's up, Dave? What's up, Matthew? David Guest too. What's up with you? Appreciate everybody jumping in. Apologize for the notifications. I don't know. I I don't know what's up with YouTube, man. And I'm not gonna say it on here. I done talked to these people, done told them enough times, but YouTube, they scary. Like, you say one thing to them, they might shut your shit off. So I ain't gonna be talking about them too much because they straight the Illuminati for real. So let me not say too many bad things about them. But I apologize you guys didn't get notifications. I still try to get that working. But I don't know, guys. It's all I can do is shake my head. It's gosh, this is frustrating. It really is. I you wait all year. You wait all year. I waited, and not I don't care if it's COVID. I wait all year, and it's almost like I waited all year for this. I waited all year for this. And it's not like we got bums on the team, but I waited all year for this. I'm beyond frustrated, but I'm also kind of like, mm-mm. I'm in la la land with my team right now because I just feel like, damn it, it's the same thing, man. It's the same thing, and I just. But hopefully we'll get some. I don't know. Hopefully, we see some positives in this game. Like I said, the Philadelphia game, the defense played better, even though the Philadelphia Eagles aren't a good team and their quarterback is not good. But we still will take some positives. Like you said, Trevin Diggs played good. D Law had a good game. Randy Gregory, I think even more reps in this game. We can see some shine out of him. Alden Smith, as well. Sean Lee will be 2 games back, so hopefully he can get some more work on the field. I like to see some Tony Pollard. I really want to see Connor McGovern on that field. I really thought he did some positive things. I really frustrated they put him back on the bench. I like to see some Tony Pollard, man. So, these young guys, I want to see them get on the field and compete. I don't think Donovan Wilson's a perfect player by any means, but I like the activity that he brings. I like, he's aggressive. He will hit you. Those are the little things I can look at. So hopefully we'll see. But like I said, we got it going on Saturday. Me and Rudy Reyes from the Rue Dog Show. He's a Pittsburgh Steelers guy. That'll be a good explosive show. He'll talk to me all about the Steelers because he knows them front and back to front. That'll be Saturday morning. Don't have the exact time yet, but be tuned. Be checking in for that because that's going to be a really good show. Rudy knows his stuff, and he's a good guy. So that's going to be a really good show Saturday. Friday, we'll see what happens Friday. I might pull somebody in. It really depends. I think I'm going to try to get a lady on the scene tomorrow. We'll see what happens with that. Oh, yes. Brandon Boyce, I totally agree with you. I forgot Bradley and Nye. Bradley and Nye has got to get some damn snaps, man, because you drafted him on the defense, stand up, hand in the ground. He's what you want Mike Nolan as a guy. He's a versatile guy. He's multiple. He can play multiple positions. A guy like Dorrance Armstrong Jr., he's not a stand-up guy. He's more of a guy that's going to put his hand in the dirt. And I'm not mad at Dorrance Armstrong Jr., but you drafted Bradley and Nye. Dorrance Armstrong Jr. is not your guy, and this is his third year on the team. He's got a 4-year deal. He's a fourth round pick. You need to see what you have in Bradley and nine. It ain't gonna kill you, and you're 2-6. Stop deceiving yourselves like the Cowboys are gonna go somewhere. Coaching staff, I get it. Keep fighting. I understand all that. Um, yeah, Jeff does have COVID. He hit me up, and hope prayers for Jeff. Get better, big dog. But yeah, that just pisses me off that Bradley and he still hasn't got any snaps. Reggie Robinson, they were saying that maybe he hasn't got down the safety position. That's fine. Then let him play some corner. But at the end of the day, let him get on the field. Why wait till next year? You're 2-6. You're already 1-2 in the division. You really think you're climbing out of that? Man, play this kid so you see what you have in him. He has size, he has the physicality, he has traits. It can't get any worse. Really, it can't get any worse. You have the worst defense in the league. It maybe climbed a few because of the last game against Philly, so it can't get any worse. You already have the worst defense out there, so it can't hurt you to play a Reggie Robinson when you say, he's just not ready. The whole defense sucks. Who's ready on this defense? The whole defense sucks. So it ain't killing you to set a Reggie Robinson out there. All we're going to sit there and do is say, and you don't have to just put him out there on the island and start him every damn game. Put him in some plays here and there. Let him just get his feet wet. It's okay. I mean, you're not losing anything by doing that. So play these guys, man. I really want to see Bradley and I really want to see. And I think he'll surprise some people because he's active. He's the type of guy that he's one of them guys that studies. I think he's one of them guys that's a football guy. He really cares, and I just feel like he's going to bring that energy. When we're talking about energy, energy helps. Trevin Diggs getting those interceptions put energy on the team. Getting the stops early gives you energy, and I think that's one of the reasons why the defense kept playing good was because you had some energy out there. Get some Bradley and Nye out there. He'll bring some good energy to the team. You know what I mean? Hey, appreciate you, Matthew Nass. He says, love the burgers and blitzes with Mike. He's a great guest who knows the stuff. Pleasure to tune in with y'all for real. Appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. I mean, it's like, dang, what are we losing here by playing a Bradley and Nye? I mean, really? We already getting gashed. We giving up 170 yards rushing a game. You know what I mean? You're already getting gashed. The pass defense actually isn't that bad. And for as much as we've been frustrated with the secondary ratings wise, it's as good as the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers is ranked like 8th and Cowboys are ranked 9th in passing defense. Cowboys are only giving up like 220 yards passing the game. They're not giving up a lot of passing yards. For as bad as they have played on defense, it's really been getting gashed on the run. That run has been killing them more than anything. It's been setting up the pass. But pass defense as a whole, even with the influx, it hasn't been terrible. So, there are some positives right there. They just have to build on it. But we'll see. I hope they get aggressive as well. I saw a little bit more blitzing in that game against Philly, and I thought that made a difference as well. Send some people against Ben Roethlisberger. Okay, send some people against him. Yeah. See, here's the thing though about Diggs. A lot of people been getting on him. He been giving up plays. I get it. He has given up plays. I get it. But you also got to understand that he's a rookie. That is one of the hardest positions. I make no excuses for him, but trust me, I played cornerback. I didn't play it on a high level, but I did play corner for a lot of bit of my life when I played football. And cornerback is one of the hardest transitions, especially going into the pros. He is low key being left on an island, and the receivers he's been covering all year. And yes, he has been torched some, but more times than not, Trevin Diggs is banged. Trevin Diggs, you can look at what his body of work and say he's getting better and he's going to continue to get better. Okay. I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, like you said, his best game was Sunday. He graded out at a 90 overall per Pro Football Focus. Like I said, he's been up and down, but his last 3 weeks, his numbers have came up. And as far as him being targeted, uh, 60% of catches caught on him. Last game, 33%. The game before, 33% before that, 50%. His stats when he first started were high as far as the completion rating of his targets and receptions against him. They have went down steadily each game. And he's a guy that one thing I love about Trevin Diggs is he does not back down from anything. You get a cut touchdown on him, you get something on him. He's aggressive. He will fight you. He will come back at you. He's a ball hawk. And here's the thing that people need to understand about Trevin Diggs is that when he was at the University of Alabama, he came in as a receiver, and he was a receiver his first couple years. He was a receiver. He was not a cornerback. He switched to cornerback his junior year, I believe, and then he got hurt, messed up his foot. So he didn't even get to play his full year. So he got hurt and sat out. So last year was his first year of ever playing full-time corner. First year ever playing full-time corner. So that's pretty damn good to only have one full year as starting cornerback to be playing as he is. So he is super green. He is super young with it. So he is barely starting out and just learning this position. So to see what he's doing now and you seeing the experience that he has, you should feel really good about him. And the arrow is trending up. And also, uh, you know, I really think they should bring Cheeto back. I hope they can. I hope they can figure out something. Um, yeah, I feel you with that with Scary Terry, but you know what? That's okay. You got to have the I don't mind my cornerback talking trash and getting into it. Dion and all those other guys talk trash. I mean, some of the best corners talk trash. I mean, it happens. You're a rookie, it happens, but Um, it like we said before, though, a lot of it would be even better if you had a nasty safety over the top that you know you had confidence that if he got past me a little bit or I can give this guy a cushion, I have somebody to have my back. That does help. It helps when you have somebody on the back end behind you. It can give you even more confidence that I can stick you and I got somebody else behind me. So that safety play, that's what is key because it helps your corners. They are your last line of defense, so they help. But I hope they figure out something with Cheeto. I like to see Cheeto come back. He was been much maligned, but Cheeto wasn't never really getting dusted. We were always just frustrated because he never turned his head back because he was always right there. And I thought he's played good toward the middle of last year. All we all saw, and I thought he was playing good this year. And I just hope that hammy heals up because I want to see him get back on the field because I think he can help the defense as well. So we'll see what happens. I think the defense took some steps in this Philadelphia game. Hopefully they can build upon it against Pittsburgh because I think we're going to be offensively challenged as well still, especially with the front line. But hopefully the defense can, keep us in the game and maybe we get some turnovers like we did. We have 4 turnovers, first time in a long time. Dallas have got turnovers in their first time in 10 years. A cornerback has got 2 interceptions in one game. The last person was that was Sean Lee, his rookie year in 2010 against the Indianapolis Colts and Peyton Manning. So there are positives against that. So hopefully we'll live off that and, cause the Pittsburgh Steelers to get, drop the ball, get some turnovers because that's what will keep us in the game, short field. And hopefully, we can get in the end zone and, make some plays. Maybe if we can get some time back there. I don't think Kellen Moore called a terrible game. I didn't like that call. Me and Mike talked about that. I didn't like that call when we were driving on that reverse. Cedric Wilson did have Amari Cooper open. He is a quarterback, but it's just like, I don't think that was the right time. You gotta see the rhythm of your team. And the rhythm of your team was we just got the turnover. We're coming down the field. We're driving. We're moving the ball, running the ball. Man, 2nd and 8, you didn't have to do that. Jim Law says, would you go all out on D and the O line in the next draft? Big game. I'm definitely going all out on defense. You know, I this Tyron Smith thing, this is what is the worry because I don't know what's a neck. I don't have no trust in the neck and the back. So I don't know what's going to happen with Tyron Smith. He could abruptly retire. He's not playing another 5 years. I don't care what anybody says. I say he gets maybe 2, maybe 3 years max on Tyron Smith playing. I think he's done if he goes that far. La'el Collins, if that's really a hip, that's concerning because you're a big dude. Hips ain't good. You've seen with Tyron Crawford. We've seen when people have bad hips, if you have hip surgery or anything like that, that ain't a good thing. So that keeps me a little nervous about that. But I'm going heavy defense. I'm a defensive guy. You need to build that front. You need a corner. You need a safety. You need a linebacker. You need defensive tackles. You maybe could get away with your rush ends, but you need to really solidify that front because our defensive tackles are not good at all. We still don't have a big guy to really hold the pocket where he can get these hold two guys, the center and the guard, where you can keep your linebackers free and free from the trash where they can make plays. We still don't have that, and until they figure that out, Dallas is always going to struggle in that middle, and teams are going to take advantage of us in the run game, and that's what's happening right now. Because the defensive tackle play is atrocious, and that's why you're seeing Dallas giving up 165, 170 yards a game, and that's when you see real regular running backs or nobody to who you think is to speak of have good games. Because if you can't shore up that middle, they're going to blow it up, and then when you start pressing that line and putting 8 men in the box, play action happens, long passes happen, screens, all those type of things, and that's when it kind of just snowballs. So you really got to shore up the front because the game is always won in the trenches, offensive line, defensive line. If you can't win in them trenches, you're not going to win games, period. Yeah, I wish I knew, but they must just feel like Gifford's not ready. Like I said, the other staff, when Brian brought us was on the show, he brought up the name sponsors. Those guys had sponsors on the other regime. They aren't the same sponsors with this new regime. So maybe they're not so up like Connor McGovern. He had a sponsor last year. He don't have a sponsor this year. So he's got to hopefully get an injury for him to get on the field. You know what I'm saying? They don't have them same sponsors. They had Brandon Knight, who I liked at the swing tackle. I said he would be our swing tackle last year. They had him at guard. You feel me? So Terrence Steele, he was not good at Texas Tech. We just had Patrick Kahn. We're Texas guys, okay? We're Big 12. We seen Terrence Steele at Texas Tech. He wasn't good at Texas Tech. He was at the Senior Bowl. He went against Bradley and Nye. I watched it. I played the damn Senior Bowl on my channel. And Bradley and Nye was killing Terrence Steele in that Senior Bowl game, and he was doing the exact same thing these NFL players are doing. So I'm not under. What's up, always a lady? I'm not. What's up, Kid Roscoe? I'm not understanding if y'all seen all that damn tape. That why y'all said okay, he's good. He's going to be okay. I know he wasn't good in college. I know he wasn't good in the Senior Bowl, but guess what? He's going to come in the NFL and he's going to be good. No, if you weren't doing it in college and you didn't do it in a Senior Bowl, what in the hell makes you think that you're going to come in the NFL playing against top players and all of a sudden going to do it then? It's proven it. He can't do it now because he's given up 7 sacks, 28 pressures, 7 sacks. He's first in the league among tackles with sacks given up. 28 pressures is first in the league among tackles. So why are we still continuing to put him out there because you want to say you want continuity? Come on, Mike. You frustrated me with that one, big dog. Hey, Jim, I'm out here too, though. I see Big 10 too. I'm Big 12. Okay. I'm Texas all day, but I'm out here in Big 10 country. I'm in Ohio, so I see all Big 10 games. That's how I can say a Connor McGovern or a Biadish. I see these guys. You know what I'm saying? I see all these Ohio State players. I see them up and close. You feel me? So when they draft Big 10 players, I feel like I have a scoop on them because I get to see them more than anybody else. I don't get to see my Big 12 football as much because they don't play those games. I have to watch it through apps and things of that nature. But I see all the Big 10 football out here. That's why when I seen a Connor McGovern, Tyler Biadish, I was like, okay, I like those picks because number one, A lot of Wisconsin players are successful in the NFL. They're smart players. They're strong. They get the job done. Also, Penn State does have good offensive linemen. And from what I saw, Connor McGovern didn't think he was great, but he was a mauler and he was strong. And that's what they need in the middle. When I seen Connor Williams, I was surprised when they put him at guard. I get why they did it. But when I saw Connor Williams, he was great at tackle at Texas. He was great at tackle, but they want to keep La'el Collins in there. So they pushed him at the guard spot, even though he really ain't no natural guard. He's more of a tackle. He has the tackle body. He don't have the guard body, and he got more of the tackle feet. Okay, inside close space, that strength has to really work. When you're a tackle, you have to have that athletic ability with the feet, and that's what he had. So that is kind of confusing to me how they kind of did that. But what the hell do I know? Y'all been coaching NFL 20 years. I ain't. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what goes on. Appreciate everybody in the building. Let me give some shout outs before I get up out of here. Booth Thang just jumped in. Lee Norman, how you doing? Jim Laws, of course, always a lady. Good to see you in here. Dwayne Wright, Jared Allen, Kid Roscoe. Who else? We got Cowboys fan 1977. Thurston Howe III, Khalil Small, Brother Spock, Brandon Boyce, appreciate you. David Royal, Rue Glock, my monitors, Victor Maldonado, how you doing? Everybody was in the building. I can't see everybody on my Facebook feed, so I apologize, but shout out to everybody. Gambino, I know you was on there. Dave Belair was on there. Shout out to everybody that was on my Facebook feed. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to listen. About to head off of here. But remember, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I may have a lady on tomorrow for the show. We'll see. I'm going to check a few inboxes to see what's going on. And then Saturday, tentatively, we have me, myself, and Rudy Reyes from the Rue Dog Show. He's a Pittsburgh Steelers guy. He's all about Pittsburgh, and he knows his stuff. So that's going to be a morning show, Saturday morning. So make sure you tune in there. That'll be a good prep before we get this Saturday game going on. My dog Sky is going to be in Texas. His peoples are going down there, going to be in my spot this weekend. So him and Law may hook up. I'm trying to get down there. I was probably going to try to go, but we got bills, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? We got bills for real. Can't just jump up and just go just like that. Bills. Like what's that one group? Can you pay my telephone bill? Can you pay my automobile? Yeah, Destiny Child. Bills. That's all, you know what I mean? So that's where we at. But I'm looking to get down there for the San Francisco game. And hopefully me and Law link up. I don't know if Scott will be down there, but show your love to my dog. Safe travels for you tomorrow, Sky, and your family as you go down to Funky Town, my spot, my state, and do your damn thing. So rep it hard, rep it for my peoples, and be good down there. Love you guys. Once again, appreciate all the support for you guys all the time. Thank you for the love, and keep on getting them subs. We're close to 5K right now. I think we're only like 340 something off. It's been going nutty this past month. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are freaking awesome. I said I wanted to get 5K before the season's over. We're definitely getting 5K. So let's get once we hit that 5K, let's try to see if we can get that 6K before the season's over. But I really appreciate all the love because that's really good. We hit 4K and then bam, 5K was almost right here, and it's all because of you guys. So really thank you. I'm going to keep on pushing out the content, keep on trying to get some more breakdowns, keep on bringing out new guests, continue to try to get some more games, get some more giveaways. Sorry, it's been kind of lacking this last month, but time's been kind of hard up in here. I'm just keep it real. So that's just what it is. So at the end of the day, though, love y'all, appreciate y'all, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. Silver Blue Nation, Big Game James. I love you guys. Peace.